guys, welcome to another video. This week I'm going to be painting on this big piece of slate to create a custom garden sign. I've got some multi-surface paint so that it'll be safe for outdoors, and I also got an all-purpose sealer just to help protect it further. And getting started, since this is new paint, I am going to have to mix some colors. And I think that it's important that I mention that this piece of slate has been painted as a garden sign before. I scrubbed it clean, and now I'm pretty much going to paint over what was there before. So I can kind of see where the N used to be before, and that's why I'm starting with the N here, because I want it to end up being in the same spot. It was a good thing to find out early on that I could just fix any mistakes by taking a wet paper towel while the paint was still wet and just wiping it clean. Because of the weight of the rock, I had a hard time painting some of the letters just because I couldn't tilt the rock in any direction to get the right angle to paint it. I also realized after I painted all of the letters though that I should have used a different paintbrush as well. Using the square edged brush made the letters a little bit thicker than I would have wanted them. Even though I could see the N when I started painting, all of the other letters, for the most part, I had to kind of map out where they were going to go along the way. I guess I could have drawn them on there with a pencil, and that would have made it a little bit easier to know where everything was going to be, but I didn't, just because I was already painting. I just wanted to keep working. And I also had to make sure I didn't set my hand onto the wet paint as I painted the letters from right to left. Definitely the trickiest part of painting the letters was when I got to the word "the" above the name here, and I had to make the E, because I wanted to make the curve of the E, but I also had to remember to keep the counter in there, and I was worrying that I was going to paint the counter shut at some point and have to attempt to remove the entire letter E and start over. But luckily, I was able to get it to a point where it looked fine, and I was able to move on to painting the flowers. And the flowers I'm adding to this are really simple flowers, so just this 5-petal daisy looking flower. And then I decided to add some smaller flowers that kind of resembled violets. I also decided to add in some stems and leaves to these, as well as some leaves to the larger flowers. And then going back over everything with a second coat once it's had a chance to dry, filling in a couple of those gaps there in the violets, and also adding a couple more flowers. The white and the yellow definitely took the most coats, just because they were the lightest colors going onto this dark rock. And I really wanted to add something that hadn't been on this sign before when it was painted, so I decided to add in some ladybugs as well. Just adding the spots to the ladybugs now. And the last thing I'm going to do here is just add a coat of sealant to the top of everything, just to help protect it against the weather. And that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next week.